Hello viewers, we're back in Enshrouded, and in this episode we're going to do a little bit of landscaping. We'll take that, at some point we'll need it. Now I patched the actual house structure, but look at this. This is a mess. This is awful. So, we're going to try and deal with that. First thing we're going to need is a rake. You can construct those at the workbench, so that's going to be step one. And we're going to put that onto the hotbar. I don't know how well this one's going to work because I was using a considerably better one when I did this in a different game. Okay, so first thing we need to do is to get rid of some of the debris, rubble. Doesn't matter that we're digging a bit of a hole. Right. Honey. Makes your stamina replenish faster. Now, you can damage the wood paneling. In this case, it wouldn't be the biggest disaster ever because I've got shroud wood. But I want to be careful damaging that wall because I don't have replacement stuff for that. So it's got the little lines on there, that's the damage texture. Okay, now we'll switch over to the rake, and we will see, and I'm basically just holding down the mouse button, and what it's doing is it's spreading that grass terrain. It seems to be based on the material that's at the center of the pattern. Okay, and we have a nice piece of lawn here. Still a little bit of debris in there, but I'm not going to stress too much about that one. Now we'll go around to the other side of the house. Actually, we're going to repair this. So to do that, you just go into the workbench and then come back out again. Everything's instantly repaired to maximum health. On this side, we got a ton of stuff. So I want to take this down below the level that we want our ground to be. And I'm just holding the mouse button down as I move the highlighter around. Yep, more honey. And this thing's actually got a pretty decent reach to it. Of course, a scrap or copper pickaxe, or bronze if you're that far into the game, is that much more effective. And there are skills you can get to make your tools more durable. I gotta go up and fix that chimney at some point too. And you can break through the wall if you're not paying attention to what you're doing here. More honey. Oh, okay, so my pick gave up the ghost. So again, instant repair. And I suppose we're pretty close, so let's see what the rake will do for that. Needs building area. Scale up, down, fine-tune rotation. Oh, this one is not adjustable for size. Okay, there's another tactic that we may have to use, and that's the build hammer. So we'll go to this one, go into build mode, go into terrain, scroll to that, switch to the dirt type. And now, see if we can go back to the rake. And sometimes you get these craters that it won't know how to fill. Yeah, the more advanced rake is definitely a little bit nicer. So we got a hole in the ground there. And even though we keep running over it, it's not really managing too well with it. So for that, we just put in a little plug to fill it. And there we go. Now, if we wanted to push that into dirt, it should be possible to do that by starting out here and taking this dirt texture and maybe not. That might be because I can't reduce the size of it. Yeah, it looks like it wants to do grass. But anyways, that's gotten rid of most of the rubble at the back of the house. There's a bit of a hole here. And still a little bit of rubble. But it's not terrible. Although I may be making it worse. Oh, it's because I've moved this thing up. Or down a little bit. G is the one I was looking for scaling. I'm going to play with the scaling a little bit and which terrain you're actually over. You can set where you want grass and where you want your dirt to be. Okay, so that's that one taken care of. Now, let's move on to the next mess, which some of you, me included, might be trying to figure out, how do we fix this? It's this mud hole here. You got the perfect little barn. Oh, apparently I haven't even dug up the chest yet. Maybe I have and it reset. Okay, so this mud, it's not really good for keeping animals in. By the way, there is a point in keeping animals. If you get goats, you can milk them. If you get birds, presumably you get eggs from them. And you can't dig mud. Not with the axe, anyways. So we're just going to clear some of this crap out of the way. Dismantle that, because I don't need a treasure chest here. And because of where my build line goes to, I can't even fix this corner of the property. Okay, so we'll make a bit of a hole here. And now we go into build mode. And first we're going to dig this out. So go to the 2 meter. We'll select stone. And we've chosen a foundation. And use up quite a bit of your stone like this. So then, you just go back and you remove it all. It can be a little bit handy to leave the previous row in, just so that you've got something to work with. And if I just went and dug some more stone, I wouldn't need to even worry about this. Okay, did not take the legs out of that, which is good. But it does take the terrain out. And we'll turn off snapping now so we can get the last few little bits. Okay, now we'll take this out. And you see how it's becoming uneven? That's why I was kind of snapping it. So now we jump out of the mud hole, we go back to terrain. We'll do the nice big flat segment here. And then we're going to go back to the rake. Okay, I guess it's not going to fill that thing with no terrain there. So I was hoping to do this the lazy way and not use too much of my terrain. But that may not be an option. Okay, so we got it all yarded in. Now the fence isn't exactly ideal here, because now it's pretty short. We could theoretically replace the fence, but we're going to need to replace the trough too. Or we can try and lower the ground level a little bit. So let's see if that will work. So we go back to the rake. And this time I go Q and I try to move it down a little. Okay, that might be trying to lower it down too much. Oh, it's because I'm starting on a low spot there. I gotta figure out where my height should be and then adjust it based on that. Okay, so that height doesn't look too bad. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it back to using the Q key. I'm going to switch it to 0 on the up-down. Oh, we've used up all the life of that thing. And I'm basically just holding down the button and allowing it to do its adjustment. Yeah, I think I'm getting a bit of a hill here. Maybe I need to be at that negative 0.5. Whoops. Q. Now, if there's any more experienced players here, I'm probably driving them insane. They're watching this going, what the hell is this guy doing? He doesn't have a clue how to work this tool. Now, the next thing is the animals are going to have trouble stepping up here. So we're going to make a little bit of a ramp. For that, we go to the build tool again. And we do the little ramp tool. Whoops. Y for undo. Okay, so this way they can walk inside of the barn. And now ideally what we want to do is try and put the dirt texture in the yard. So we'll shrink this. And I don't really want to take the fence down, because then I'll have to buy a new one. And this can be a little finicky. In fact, I might be better off trying to use a different tool and putting a road texture in there, like a dirt road texture. We are going to have to get rid of that at some point. And I can probably also change my height on this back to 0. And quite often I'll leave a little bit of dirt around the fence. And now we're going to have to go back to the build tool. And put our little ramp back in. And it's probably good enough for the animals to manage. Okay, so from our little mud yard to this, all we need now is a couple of goats. It doesn't look perfect here at the transition, so it might be better to add a little bit of grass or whatever. But it's not terrible. So we got the side of the house done. We got that yard done. We fixed up this building on the last episode. Ready to start putting equipment in here. And once you get the farmer, you can start planting seeds. So for instance, you could plant like blueberry bushes or chamomile or something like that along the side of the house. Make it look a little bit overgrown, but with actual useful stuff. And the little gardens that are here, once they're inside your build area, they'll no longer respawn. And for some reason, it didn't seem to like me planting bushes in there. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I got to dig them out and use a different type of dirt in it or something like that. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you found it a little bit informative, and at least you know how to clean up a bit of a mess around your house. Thanks for watching. Come back for the next one.